Hello everyone, it is Cherem here, and today I'm going to talk about something that I guess has been talked about before, but I think I'd really want to talk about this because there's a lot on my chest regarding Nintendo, because I've been a long time Nintendo fan, and I just been thinking a bunch, and I want to share it with everyone and be like, yeah, Nintendo's just not the same as they used to be, It's truly unfortunate. And, honestly, after the whole Pyra and Myth Assault videos, I'm like, I wonder if I can do something like this and people will watch it and maybe hear me out. Because I had strong opinions about the Nintendo Switch for a while, and I think it'd be good to share them. So let me get started by saying, this is a hot take, by the way. I personally think the Nintendo Switch era is the worst era Nintendo has ever done. Now you're probably like, whoa, hold the phone. I'm being serious, and I bet that hooked a bunch of people to what I just said. But before you guys give me negative dislike, just hear me out, okay? Please, hear me out. I don't think the Switch is bad. Let me give a disclaimer. I do not think the Switch is bad. I think the Switch is actually a great console. And actually, probably arguably one of Nintendo's best consoles behind the Wii and the 3DS. The Switch fixed what made the Wii U flop, and the games on the Switch are really good. I mean, look at games like Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and of course, Smash Ultimate. Like I said, I don't think the Switch has bad games. It has great games. The Switch has really great games. But I am saying the era of the Nintendo Switch is probably Nintendo's worst and least innovative and effortless era of Nintendo's history. Now, you're probably wondering, why do you say that, Cherem? Why do you think the Switch has one of the worst eras? And I'm gonna say, to answer that, we need to take a look at parallel universes. Just kidding. I mean, let's take a look at Nintendo's other consoles, such as the Wii, the 3DS, and the Wii U specifically. Nintendo has never really made objectively bad consoles, with the exceptions of the Virtual Boy. This is probably one of the worst Nintendo consoles ever. But you also have things like the Wii U, which is considered a flop compared to the Wii and the Switch, which personally I believe the Wii U was actually very innovative. I do think it is worse than the Wii and the Switch, definitely. It did not deserve to flop and get as much hate as it does because the Wii U had very good games, and it had a bunch of other stuff, which I will explain shortly in the video. And then last but not least, there's the GameCube, which is considered one of the best Nintendo consoles nowadays, but at the time it was considered a failed console because it did not sell very well. Going back to the Wii U though, I'm probably the biggest Wii U apologist. When I say that the Wii U had an amazing lineup of games, I mean it. Because why do you think Nintendo ported or has made sequels for them on Switch? I mean, think about games like Super Mario 3D World literally just got a new port to Switch with Bowser's Fury. Also games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Pokken Tournament Deluxe, and Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I mean, think about it. All these games were Wii U games, and they were ported to Switch because they were really good games. But they were just moved to the Switch because the Wii U did not do well, and not many people owned a Wii U. And there's other games like this, more than the ones I listed. And I know this is gonna offend some Nintendo Switch fans, but man, from what I've seen in the Switch, is that the games aren't as top-notch quality as games were back then. Once again, I'm not saying the games are bad, because I think there are many good Switch games. I think there's a lot of amazing Switch games. But you can tell which era of Nintendo had more effort. It's pretty plain to see. I mean, take a look at Pokemon Sword and Shield. This game has received so much controversy in video game history ever. Though it's not as bad as The Last of Us 2. Because it was very clear that Game Freak didn't put in the effort into the game, and it was just a cash grab because they're like, ooh, Pokemon's on Switch, guys, look, pay money, look. But then you look at DS Pokemon games like Black and White, and you're like, whoa, look at this immersive world you're in. This is wow, you can tell they put so much effort into the map, from just seeing the opening cutscene alone. And then you look at the opening cutscene of Sword and Shield, and you see these graphics, and you're like, whoa, man, whoa, these are cool graphics. Maybe the Pokemon Switch is gonna be cool. Oh, he's gonna talk. And there's no voices. Why is there no voice? Surely you could have put so much effort into that, right? And you know, I bet there's a bunch of people ready to dislike my video, and because they think I'm nostalgia pandering it, and you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. But can you really deny that there's not a little bit of truth in my statement right now? Honestly, another hot take I'd say is the only consistently good franchises Nintendo has to offer nowadays would be Mario, Kirby, Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, and Super Smash Bros. And I didn't say Zelda for a reason, which I'll explain later. Nintendo has abandoned old franchises that had quality games like Star Fox, Mother, Donkey Kong, F-Zero, especially that one, Metroid, any of the Mii games, and I guess to an extent Pikmin, because the latest Pikmin game is just an import of a Wii U game. Instead of, working on these games, you know what the Switch does instead? We get stuff like this, Mario Kart Live, which nobody asked for. Like, it baffles me how Nintendo does not have their priorities straight when it comes to their game series at all. I mean, you really can't tell me that Fox, Captain Falcon, Olimar, like these characters are only relevant because of Smash Bros. They're only relevant because they're in Smash. Otherwise, honestly, nobody would be talking about Captain Falcon or Fox or anyone. Nintendo doesn't prioritize. It only prioritizes like its major franchises nowadays. Like, I kind of wish Nintendo would make a new Mother game, because Mother is actually one of my favorite franchises, or even freaking localize Mother 3. Like, why hasn't Mother 3 been localized yet? I'm sorry, I'm getting on a angry rant here. Anyways, let me just go to my next point, but before I do, let me just say I just hope Nintendo could really focus on their other franchises besides Mario and Zelda the most, honestly. They need more love. They really do. Kinda onto my next point here, though. I think the Wii, 3DS, and Wii U all had multiple things in common that the Switch lacks, and they all had something that made the Nintendo console have that Nintendo feel to begin with. Let me start with talking about the Wii real quick. As you can probably hear by my background music, Nintendo Wii music has very iconic music. Everyone knows about the Wii Shop channel, the Mii channel theme, and the main menu theme. Even if you don't play video games, everyone knows like the Mii channel theme or the Wii Shop channel theme. It's because Nintendo had iconic themes and bangers back in the day. I mean, I'm gonna play some Wii songs that you guys should listen to. Like, think about how good they are. And if you thought those were good, think of like some startup sounds like the Game Boy Advance and the DS Lite. They were so iconic. My friend even told me once that Nintendo goes to the studio just to make bangers, and I agree. Nintendo's old music was so top-notch and top quality. I mean, hey, who here remembers starting their 3DS for the first time? I know I do, and I remember starting it and I was greeted with this music. And then the song makes you go like, dang yo, this is my 3DS and this is mine. This music's like, wow, welcome to the Nintendo 3DS. Hope you enjoy your stay. Still using the 3DS as an example, but the 3DS had music for everything. The system settings music I just played was one, and then there was the internet settings, the health and safety, the activity log, the Mii Maker, the photo album. Like, a lot of the apps had so much music. Oh, and let's not even forget the eShop music as well. I'm gonna play a couple more songs so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. this is what made Nintendo unique and had that Nintendo feel back then. The Wii U also had this aesthetic too, though honestly not many of the songs are as memorable as the Wii or the 3DS, or even the DSi. Like, the DSi shop theme is also a cool song. I did state before that the eShop also had its own music, but one cool thing about the eShop, for the 3DS and Wii U that is it had a new theme like every month or so, until 2017, where it's been using one consistent theme now. Also, don't judge me, but I'm gonna play this theme from the Nintendo eShop, which is my all-time favorite. But, like, you know how that cool that was? It really made you feel like you were a part of Nintendo and its lineup. It's either the music was so cheery and upbeat when you're going, like, shopping or whatever, or it was, like, calm and soothing, like if you're listening to, I don't know, like something to help you sleep, like for like the settings music or whatever. Now, let's listen to the Switch's music. That was probably the most awkward 10 seconds of your life, but like there's literally no music for the Nintendo Switch. Not even the eShop has music. It just feels so empty and out of place for Nintendo. I think they were trying to go for a mature feel, try to imitate Sony and Microsoft. Though that's enough talking about music now. I'm gonna talk about Nintendo's apps and services with the Switch compared to the other consoles now. And oh boy, I bet everyone knows what I'm going to start with. And that's right, I'm talking about Nintendo Switch Online. Gross. I'll be honest. Online network has never really been Nintendo's strength. I mean, since Nintendo introduced online on the DSi, it has been very slow and lackluster and can barely run games online. Seriously, some Sony and Microsoft consoles can do a lot better than this. And I know what you guys are probably thinking, but Cherim, if Nintendo's online has been consistently bad, then what makes the Switch's online worse? And to that, I say 3 words. It costs money. Why does the Switch's internet cost money? Granted, it's only $20 a year, but every other Nintendo has never done this. And when they do, their internet is trash. Nintendo's internet is awful, and awful is such a nice word to describe it. Let me show you what happened when me and my friends were playing 3D World the other day on the Switch.
Yes!
No! No!
For this.
I can't move! This is worse than Mario Maker!
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is fine.
Bro, why would they use the same shit for 20 years just to expect for this to run A-okay?
Ooh, this is crispy.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's input. It's eating my jumps.
Oh, we're getting the loading screen.
Oh, good. You guys saved my life. Oh, that's funny.
Bro, y'all probably need some Yuzu or shit. I don't need that,
Wait. Should we go inside that pipe?
Yes.
Always, yes.
Honestly, this is... I'll deal with it. We're good.
Luigi?
Luigi?
Luigi!
Where'd the music go?
Oh no.
Where's the music? Oh, here you go. Oh, you got stuck here last time.
Yo. Oh, what's up, JD?
JD!
JD?
Aaron, I
Yeah,
think
it's
your
DJ.
stream on Twitch is lagging a little bit.
No, Robin, that's the
no.
game. That's the game. That's the game,
It's the
Robin.
game.
I mean, like, literally, my girlfriend thought that my stream was lagging, but no, it was the game that was actually lagging. We currently live in an era of, I'm not gonna say it, but, it's very difficult to go to, like, big gatherings and big events. So, naturally, we're going to play online more. But Nintendo's online isn't very good. I mean, hey, on the bright side, we get a free NES and SNES app to go along with it. Wait, this actually reminds me of something. Why is this the only former virtual console we're getting? The 3DS and Wii U had a multitude of virtual console games to get on, especially the Wii as well. We even get the original Pokemon games on the 3DS. Anyone remember 3D Classics? You know, where we got to play old Nintendo games in 3D? Or even remember the Ambassador program, like where you would get a crap ton of 3DS games for free if you pre-ordered your 3DS. The Wii also had many N64 games, SNES games, NES games, and so much more to play. The Wii U had Nintendo DS and Wii games for Virtual Console. The Switch only has the NES and SNES game app, which comes with online, because there's no such thing as Virtual Console. The Switch could really benefit from a Virtual Console, but you know, they don't want to do it, because you know what we get instead? We get games like these, which are obvious cash grabs from Nintendo. Like Super Mario 3D All-Stars is a 3-in-1 Mario bundle of 3 decade-old games. And oh yeah, by the way, it's $60. The new Skyward Sword that's coming out is also $60, and that's just a port of a Wii game. Miitopia, a 3DS game that's coming to Switch, is $50. So you're telling me instead of Virtual Console, we have to pay a full price to play older games on the Switch? It's such a ripoff, and Nintendo is obviously trying to do some cash grabs here, and it honestly pisses me off. Like, why are they doing this? On a side note, this is also one of the first Nintendo consoles in a while since like the GameCube that does not have backwards compatibility. Well, I can't really blame them on this one though, I'll be honest, because they need to use game cartridges to make the Switch in handheld mode. But you know, to compensate, why don't you put Wii U Virtual Console games? Or Wii Virtual Console games? I mean, they are porting games from the Wii U to the Switch, but also, once again, at full price. I don't know, it's just kind of like, it just seems like Nintendo just wants money at this point, but they don't really need money, you know? Last thing I'll mention is that the Wii, 3DS, and Wii U all had a bunch of extra services that were cute and fun to do. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, the DSi did as well, they had Flipnote. Well, the Wii had the Wii Connect 24 channels. The Check Me Out channel, the Everybody Votes channel, the Nintendo channel, the Forecast channel, and the News channel. Let's see. There was so much these channels had to offer. The Check Me Out channel let you post Miis online, and it let you download other people's Miis or enter your Miis in contests. The News channel just simply gave news. The Forecast channel just told the weather. The Everybody Votes channel let everyone vote on polls and stuff, and it was kind of fun to do. The Nintendo channel gave you announcements on Nintendo 3DS and Wii games, and also it had a service where you could use DS Download Play to play demos on your Nintendo DS or Nintendo 3DS. So overall, these channels had a lot of cool things to offer, and I have never seen anything like as innovative as these on the Switch. Like, not at all. I mean, the 3DS had Mii Plaza, Face Raiders, AR games. It has Miiverse, which shut down already, and also the Wii U also had that. It also had stuff like Nintendo Badge Arcade or Music Player. Like, it had so many things. Like, Mii Plaza was so great, honestly. You had Street Pass, which let you meet other people, and it encouraged people to play the 3DS together. There's nothing on the Switch that gives incentive for people to play together other than a crappy online system. The 3DS also had themes, which you could customize your 3DS menu. It was such a great idea when they released it, and you could have so much customization to your thing. You can even add folders. But what kind of themes does the Switch have? Black and white. No, that's it. That's all they have. And combined with the fact that there's still no music, too. Oh, another thing. Who remembers Club Nintendo? Yeah, me neither. No, I actually do remember it, because... Let me talk about Club Nintendo real quick. Many people do not know about this, and many people did not use this while it was still a thing, but Nintendo had a service called Club Nintendo, where you'd register your game's instruction manual to receive coins. And if you had enough coins, you could get free Virtual Console games on your Wii, Wii U, or 3DS. On top of that, you could even get actual 3DSware games and 3DS games, and actual Wii U games on your 3DS or your Wii U. Another thing also is you could get a bunch of merchandise too, which it's still possible, but Club Nintendo, it was so much easier because the currency system was so much better. Because what does the Switch have nowadays? My Nintendo. What does My Nintendo give you? It gives you themes for your 3DS, so I guess that's okay. It also gives you discounts on Switch games. But Club Nintendo gave away games for free. And not to mention, you have to use the currency to get discount on Switch games. What? Like, I remember something about Club Nintendo is, if you registered like Mario Kart 8, I think for the Wii U, during a certain time period, you got Pokemon X and Y for free. You know how awesome that was? I still have my Pokemon Y that I got for free. And when Club Nintendo was shutting down, it put all of its games for lineup. Like, My Nintendo doesn't do this type of stuff. My Nintendo does not give any free apps at all. As I said before, why the heck is Nintendo so stingy? They don't need money. Sony and Microsoft don't do this. And they're doing pretty well off too. In fact, Nintendo is doing more well off than them. Again, to reiterate, I don't hate the Switch. I know I've been bashing the Switch this whole time, but I don't think Nintendo's trying anymore. Nintendo did a lot more with the Wii U, and the Wii U was considered a failed console. But the Switch is considered a successful console. But they're not doing anything with it. Nintendo is losing its edge, and it's losing the charm and how lovable it was that made it Nintendo to begin with. One more thing I'm going to talk about, but this doesn't really have to do with the Switch itself, but it has to do with the legality and the people involved in Nintendo. Nintendo lately has had a tendency of ceasing and desisting a lot of things nowadays, and all it really does is hurt their reputation even more. Nintendo has always been a stickler for the Smash competitive scene, especially. At the end of last year, there was a tournament for Smash Ultimate called Big House. Well, not only just for Smash Ultimate, it's for Melee as well. And for those who don't know, Smash Bros. Melee is a GameCube game that came out in 2001. So it is a 2-decade-old game. So, due to it being a GameCube game, there's no way you can really play online. So, a mod was developed for Melee called Slippy. Slippy allowed people to play online. So there was going to be an online Melee tournament using Slippy, which was on the Dolphin emulator, which is an emulator that allows you to play GameCube and Wii games. However, one day a message was sent from Nintendo, and the Big House decided to post it. The Big House is heartbroken to share that we've received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America Incorporated to cancel our upcoming online event. We were informed we do not have permission to host or broadcast the event primarily due to the usage of Slippy. Sadly, all of our competitions are affected. We are forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House Online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to those impacted. This just frustrated me, and I don't even play Smash competitively. How can Nintendo just be like this against their fans? Melee especially, Nintendo refuses to acknowledge that Melee is still popular. Nintendo probably thinks that people are being delusional and they should play Ultimate instead. And also, I think Nintendo is just jealous that their online is honestly better than them. Like, does Nintendo not know we're in the middle of a pandemic and we can't go outside in, like, big groups? Do they not know that? This caused an uproar within the Smash community, and a certain hashtag started sprouting called #FreeMelee, and then there was also #SaveSmash as well. Unfortunately, the story does not end there, as there was a Splatoon tournament afterwards, shortly, and some people thought it was a great idea to put their name as FreeMelee, thinking it would do something. People like this gotta calm down sometimes, I swear. Their names were FreeMelee, and Nintendo shut down the tournament. Nintendo shut down a Splatoon tournament because of this. I personally thought both sides were at fault, but Nintendo, come on, you're a billion-dollar company. How petty do you have to be to not admit that you messed up by canceling that Smash tournament? So you cancel a Splatoon tournament when people call you out? Like, you know how petty that is for a billion-dollar company to do that? You know what? One more thing I want to talk about is I'm sorry to lose my edge more than Nintendo here. Where is Doug Bowser? No offense to people like Shintaro Furukawa and Doug Bowser, but I don't know. Nintendo's done better when they weren't running. Not saying that they're bad at their job. I think they're very good at their job. Do not take my words out of context, or I will destroy you. No, I'm serious. I will destroy you with my 150 amiibo. Doug Bowser has not made an appearance since he's first appeared, but you know who did make an appearance every time? Reggie Fils-Aimé. Reggie was an icon. Everyone knew who Reggie was if you were a Nintendo fan. And Reggie brought life to Nintendo. And once again, not saying Doug Bowser doesn't, but Reggie really knew how to run the company. I loved Reggie. I really did. It was sad to see him retire, honestly. But you know, he's off doing better things, so I respect that. And on the Japanese side, we also had Satoru Iwata. Ooh, man, Iwata. Love this guy. He did so much. He had so much passion. He was actually the direct inspiration of Masahiro Sakurai, the creator of Smash Bros, Kirby, and Kid Icarus Uprising. Man, honestly, Iwata's death actually had me heartbroken because Iwata really ran Nintendo very well. So fun fact, well, it's not really fun, but it's a fact, I guess. But back in 2015, I went to a summer camp and we weren't allowed to use our phones. And that was the week Iwata died in July. And when I got home and I was able to use my phone again, I got a bunch of text messages saying, yo, Iwata's dead. Yo, look, Iwata died. And I was like, what the heck? Iwata died. And man, honestly, Iwata's death really got me because I looked up to him. Because me, myself, being a game designer myself, as I make fan games and ROM hacks or whatever, you know, I was like, dang, I was really inspired by him. He was a big inspiration to me, and to see him go was unfortunate. And I don't want to sound biased, but ever since he died, I don't think Nintendo's really been the same. No offense. And you can disagree with my opinion. Like, don't feel compelled to listen to me. And if you disagree, like, don't yell at me. Like, I'm just stating my opinion. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Like, I don't know. Nintendo's been losing its edge. Nintendo's a great company. I think it's probably one of the better video game companies out there. Looking at you, Sega. Make a new Monkey Ball already. But man, Nintendo's just not the same as it used to be. Honestly, I believe the GameCube, DS, Wii, 3DS, and Wii U era was just so unique and innovative, and the Switch just isn't, honestly. And once again, I'm not saying the Switch is bad. I enjoy the Switch. I have my own Switch. I play my Switch a lot, actually. But the Switch could have been so much more. Nintendo had so much potential to make this a great console. And it is a great console, but it just has so much potential to be even better. You know? I believe the Switch is the best-selling console of Nintendo. Don't quote me on that. If it's not, I think it's the Wii. I don't know. It's one of the two. I know that for a fact. But man, imagine how dope the Switch would be if it had all the awesome features what made the Wii, the 3DS, the 3DS, and the Wii U, the Wii U. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and if you agree with my opinion, feel free to comment down below, and leave a like, and subscribe if you're new. But if you don't agree, you don't have to. Don't feel compelled to agree. Just don't be rude about it, and don't leave a dislike on the video, because being a smaller content creator, I don't know, dislikes outweighing the likes is kind of bothersome. Plus, it's not going to give you the ego boost you want. But yeah, subscribe if you're new here, as I said before, and actually follow me on Twitch as well, because I like to stream a lot of games from the respective eras I talk about. And see, oh yeah, join my Discord too. That link should be in the description. We do a lot of fun stuff there, a lot of fun discussions, and yeah. Alright, that's all the time I got. I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS. And by that, I mean, see ya!